See, Trump is obsessed with extorting Europe for tribute to devalue their economies like they're doing to Germany right now. And the German chancellor, America under Trump policies caused tariff economics, and then it started under Trump causing Brexit with Farage, and then Trump tariffing France because they stand in the way of gasoline, which is a good. I support Macron. We should wean this planet 100% free from auto gasoline vehicles. It's a necessary national security interest. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General, is on board 100%. And the rest of the world's leaders are on board. But Trump is a venomous snake oil con artist, like Rockefeller's father. He just wants to enrich himself with Exxon in the Russian Arctic. And then he wants to supply Europe with Russian Arctic energy, Exxon, and India and China with pipelines. Exxon wants to use Trump to flood Arctic Russian energy into Western Europe and into India and into China. And Trump wants to extort Europe and topple their economies like Germany. They destroyed their pipelines. That was the Republicans' agenda, to destroy Nord Stream 2 and Nord Stream 1. And now the Chancellor of Germany is collapsing. The economy of Germany is collapsing. Trump wants to tariff France because they stand in the way of gasoline, which is, I'm shoulder by shoulder with Macron to wean off of gasoline 100%. I'm on board 100%. But Trump isn't. And Trump wants to cripple France's economies with tariffs because of it. It's not because of your cheese and wines. How he used to say that in his first administration. I'm tariffing France because of the cheese and wines. That's bullshit. It's because of Macron and the Paris Accord. He feels that the Paris Accord, Trump does, that is standing in the way of the European gasoline flow. That's what Trump thinks. So he's the sworn enemy as a business racketeer against the Macron administration. He wants to topple France to overthrow Macron and a French Revolution by tariffing France. And it's not because of cheese and wine that he's tariffing France. It's because the Paris Accord wants to phase in electric cars for all of the Europeans. But people like Trump and the petrol world hegemonic dollar doesn't allow Europe to phase in electric cars. So for that reason, Trump wants to stagnate Germany's BMW electric cars and Mercedes electric cars. He wants to tariff Germany. He says 10 to 20%, but knowing him, he'll increase it to like 50% of German imports into America. But he really wants to cripple Germany's. He wants to. During Trump's first administration, with Angela Merkel, Trump was trying to undermine the Nord Stream 2 and Nord Stream 1. He wanted Putin to close those pipelines into Germany. When Trump was president in his first administration, Trump wanted Putin to close down Nord Stream 2 and Nord Stream 1. He wanted to extort Angela Merkel and lay down in bed with Putin, with ExxonMobil in the Russian Arctic, and close Nord Stream 2 and Nord Stream 1. In order for Exxon to control Russian Arctic energy flowing to the Ukrainian pipelines, that Exxon would control the distribution of that pipeline to flood Russian Arctic Exxon energy into Western Europe. And then those same pipelines of Exxon to that Tajikistan corridor pipeline that ran through Afghanistan, which Trump laid down with the Taliban in order to do it, to think that Exxon was going to control that Tajikistan Russian Arctic pipeline that would flood energy into India. That's why Moody invited Trump in his first term to go to India in a stadium to roll out the red carpet for Trump in the stadium, because Trump was promising India to run a Tajikistan Exxon Russian Arctic pipeline that would have run through Afghanistan. That's why Trump overthrew the Afghan American coalition government and propped up the Taliban. And Biden found out about al-Zawahiri being right back close to Abdul. They pulled Al Qaeda back into the Abdul regime, which Biden killed al-Zawahiri with a missile shredded blade that shredded his body. But Trump made it possible to sleep with Abdul, the leader of the Taliban, for the love of oil, that pipeline that ran through the Tajikistan corridor pipeline that Exxon wanted to control to flood energy, Russian Arctic energy, into India and then into China. That's why Trump is head over heels for the love of oil. His black gold, if you will. He's like a Rockefeller venomous snake of a grift. So this is what he wants to do to France and Germany, because German auto industry wants to phase in electric cars. Macron wants to stop gasoline flowing to Europe. And that's why Trump is targeting to collapse their economies with tariffs. Germany is already feeling the brunt of it, of a second Trump term. They're already feeling Trump's run on the markets when it comes to German, because they fear that this hegemonic currency would damage Germany's economy with Trump's tariffing their auto industries. So, and Trump caused Brexit with Farage and Steve Bannon, because Steve Bannon wants to divide and conquer Europe by devaluating your currencies and making y'all fight with each other and argue with each other about Trumpisms. Because Steve Bannon's strategy is to rise up fascism in Italy and Spain, and Orban is pro-Eastern. So they're all jostling around Trump, and Trump is causing a big disorder. You got Turkey leaning towards the global South and the global East. So Trump is just causing a mayhem in the European Union for the love of greed, for the love of Exxon. So that's what's sickening about this world currency that he believes in, Trump, that is the indispensable to have the world currency be the American dollar. Under him, he's going to rule over the world with gasoline impunity. That's how Trump thinks. And he wants to extort and cause mayhem economically in Europe in order to get his way with Exxon and the petrodollar. So for that reason, I call for a decoupling of this petrodollar hegemonic currency. Even Europe falls prey and oppressed by it. So for that reason, I'm calling unanimously for the global South, the global East, and the Eurozone to decouple from this hegemonic currency. So the European leaders should study the rest of the videos of tutorials. As a theologian of economics that I'm retrofitting and amending the multipolar economical world order. And as a theologian of economics, you should study all my videos that I have on this platform of YouTube when it comes to commerce and the open markets. It will behoove the leaders of the European Union to adapt to the new world order of multipolar economic systems so they can prepare themselves to get out from this tyrant of I like to call Trump an abomination of greed, the beast of gluttony, because that's what Trump reminds me of, the beast of gluttony. He says at his rallies, I'm going to take. I'm going to take so much that my supporters are going to get tired of me taking, but I'm going to keep on taking until I make America great again. Talking about tariffing Europe and our allies. Like somehow his supporters are going to get nauseated because he's taking too much. That's what he was saying in 2015 at his rallies. I'm going to take so much that my supporters are going to get tired of me taking. But I'm going to keep on taking until I make America great again. So in other words, his own supporters will get sick and nauseous of the gluttony. How rich he will make America by extorting Europe. That's what he was insinuating as 2015 rallies. So yes, I'm for Europe getting out of this demonic hegemony of world sole superpower status of America's currency. Yes, I'm for Europe charting their own path as a union when it comes to commerce. Europe has it in their sovereignty to charter their own path when it comes to their economic union. They don't have to be imprisoned under this gluttony demagogue that we call Trump, with his ambitions of the world hegemonic currency being the greenback, with his, I call him the beast of gluttony, pure vanity disorder, a narcissistic man that loves himself, that think everything he touches turns to gold, that everything he does is perfect and superb. Trump wants to be a robber baron on the world stage and extort every nations of our allies' coffers in order to make America great again. That his own supporters will get nauseated, full of gluttony, but that's not going to stop him from keep on taking and taking and taking until he makes America great again. America first and the world's last. He's the abomination of greed, the god of gluttony. So at the end of this path of damnation, when all root of evil traces to that love of that hegemonic currency, the love of money is the root of all evil, especially when you're a tyrannical leader like Trump to try to extort your allies into impoverishing them for the love of greed, for the love of gluttony, for the love of that hegemonic currency. That is purely tyrannical gluttony run amok on the world stage. So I'm 100% for the European sovereign leaders of the European Union within the Eurozone to charter their own path free and liberated from this hegemonic currency of America's greenbacks with a demonic overlord, robber baron of greed that we call J. Donald Trump.